welcome to the Psychic Garden. I'm happy to have you here to learn about what this season of Venus in Gemini is bringing to us. So we are stepping out of Venus in Taurus and we'll be with Venus in Gemini since April 11th until May 7th. And I will go straight to the reading, no introduction. Although there are several things, disruption, going through my mind, and this is precisely what I felt. Like, it's okay to not talk about all these things right now. We are going to be guided more by the energies around, okay? With this Venus in Gemini, there are many triggers during this season. And how do we act from our wholesome self instead of being redirected by those triggers? And what are our motivations? It's about analyzing our motivations. Fear. Okay. And you guys want one other card. Yeah, so, and happiness. Okay, yeah. This is complementary, okay? These two energies are going to be very, very present during this season. We have Mercury retrograde starting on April 20th or 21, and we also have the eclipse. So if you see these two cards together, they symbolize precisely this solar eclipse that's happening. How the shadow is coming up front and hiding the light for a moment. And it's important for us to know that it's just a moment. And several of these episodes are going to be present in your life during this season. And it's important, yes, to reorient yourself when you feel that there's some adjustment, like honestly look into your motivations and that you feel that there's some adjustment to do within yourself, but also not go along with any disruption that's happening. Not all of them are meant for reorienting you, okay? Let me see what your guides want you to embrace from this disruptive energies. Two cards. Okay, King of Wands and Page of Swords. And they want 3 oracle cards for this one. So yeah, let me just bring them up right now. And actually that might make the complete reading. I don't know, maybe we get some clarification. Let's see. 1, 2. Wow. 3. Okay. Amazing. Okay, so I'm going to start first with this. So, Page of Swords and King of Wands. It is triggering to work with energies that don't go our way, with things that don't result in what we expected them to be. It is a challenge to reanalyze, reassess a situation that we expected to be in a certain way. And this is the Page of Swords energy. It's reassessing. So how can you step into a confident reassessment of the situation? Being first and foremost assured that you are okay, that you can mess up, you can trip, you can make mistakes, and it's okay to reassess. Okay, so stepping into the honesty that reassessment means. Okay, this is a season with Venus in Gemini, and this I didn't expect it, but it's really it makes sense, right? How do we take care of our mental processes in a wholesome way, and this is with deep honesty. Okay, and it is very hard to be honest, because it's in the honest moments that we realize that we made something that wasn't really aligned with what we say we are, with what our values are. We do these things because we are programmed to react sometimes. So that's why the reaction, the automatic reaction, is advised to not step into automatic reaction, okay? And every time you are stepping into this energy of, I want to react now to this situation, reassess what happened before when you reacted like this in a similar situation. And the King of Wands is, you have a lot of power of reassessment, and you have also a loving force within you that you've already developed, in which you can be assured that you are okay. Okay, so don't be afraid to be honest and to find the messing up. Probably you messed up in some situation. Don't be afraid of finding this little things that you didn't really do from a place that's completely aligned with your values, with your value system. Okay, and it's okay. And the King of Wands is also, how are you leading the way of transformation? With this reassessment, with this honesty within yourself, you're able to step up into leading the way of transformation for others around you. So the collective work is very, very important right now. And that's why basically I put up this YouTube channel, because the collective guides were very present in my life in some way. They started appearing, and pushing me all the way to here today. So that's the short story. And with the King of Wands is knowing that the personal work you do is also has an impact on the collective, and that you have a responsibility because of that. You have a responsibility because you've learned. Okay, and with every lesson there's a huge responsibility. This comes up, and how can you step into this responsible energy, right? It is triggering. It's triggering also. It's like becoming an adult in life, in different steps, in different it's not linear, of course, and it's triggering because we change and we transform. In this transformation, it's uncomfortable to grow. So yes, you have the power of transformation. How can you embrace that? Even though it's triggering, it can be triggering at some point. And for some reason, this Venus in Gemini is bringing all this up. So there's going to, when it goes into Gemini, there's going to be a trine between the Sun and who is in, so the Sun is in Aries, and in Sagittarius there is the Moon. Yeah. So the Sun and the Moon are going to be in trine, and also the Sun is conjunct Jupiter. So if you know astrology, this might be important information for you, and that's why I say it. So, but there's this collaboration of father and mother energies when Venus is going into Gemini, and maybe that's why it's also, how are you reparenting yourself? That you don't lose the parent energy just because you become an adult. On the other hand, you actually become your best parent. You become the parent that you didn't have, the one that you need to have, the one that you needed. So there's also, how are you reparenting yourself? And Venus in Gemini is kind of this very subtle but very fast and very efficient energy that will allow you to do that. Okay? And fear and happiness. Okay? So also knowing that whatever situation has two sides. There are two sides of the coin. Okay? And it's not a black and white situation. And look at the coin, like look at the complete picture. Look at the coin with all its nuances. And so for example, here is precisely what I was saying. This trine between the sun and the moon, and the sun conjunct Jupiter, and this about the eclipse that I was talking, right? How can we take a moment out to reassess our values during the eclipse? How can we, again, the Page of Swords, how can we take a moment out to reassess our values? And it's ultimately the values that give beauty to our movement, to our life, to our place in this world. So that's, Venus is a planet of beauty and of values, of both, amongst many other things. But take the eclipse. The eclipse is a very, very important time in this season. Take it as an opportunity to go within, okay? To go within, and don't be afraid to step into yourself. It's time to be comfortable in solitude. Okay in solitude. Okay? And I just think, so Venus really wants us to know how present she is in our life. You see, this card is beautiful, and this is simply Venusian energy. And I just noticed right now that I didn't light up this candle, so I will do it. Okay, so this is what happened. I lit up the candle, and then I forgot to plug in the microphone again. And then some cards came out. I simply think that this message was meant for me, actually, because in that reading, I just finished saying that this is both a reading for the collective, in which I'm included, and a reading for you, which is, there are very specific messages for you. And I simply trust the way things go, you know? We are talking about these disruptions, but how can we trust them, okay? And that's what I'm practicing here in front of you, in front of the camera, okay? And I'm just simply going to allow these cards to stay here. We talked about this reassessment of situations. When I saw the candle that wasn't lit up, it's a time to reassess what's not in place right now, and what can I do, what can you do to put things in place again, okay? And then I'm going to just go to this clarification that I asked for, and that I'm also reading cards in the reverse here. Okay, let's see. Page of Wands, Eight of Wands. Okay, this is amazing. This is amazing how different it is. Now that wow, Seven of Wands. Okay. There are a lot of things that you've already mastered. So you're this King of Wands, but there are also a lot of things that you're unsure about. Here with the Page of Wands in the reverse, it's kind of not being sure if you should start something or not. And this is creating some type of inner struggle with the Seven of Wands and the Eight of Wands together. So, but also this inner struggle is very valuable for you to step forward, okay, and move forward. And on this time of reassessment, there are two important things. One, to go into your own mind and view your path from what you value, from what you know about yourself, but also communication. Where can you find places, people that in which you feel understood. And how can you exchange with them your values and what you've learned with these pages and what you are uncertain about? So it's a very apprentice energy, this time around with the Venus in Gemini. It's reassessing a lot about her place in the world, what beauty means, and what how can the dreams of beauty become true? Which of those dreams are realistic and in a sense of being aligned with reality, and which ones are just fantasies? It's very important to step into this energy of envisioning your own path and seeing which direction brings you to beauty, to joy, to contentment. Contentment is very important. The Seven of Wands, you are struggling. You're struggling with not feeling enough. In maybe even your creativity is kind of, you're challenged and triggered in your creative process in some way. Maybe it's the eclipse, maybe it's the retrograde, maybe it's simply the stage of life you're at, or all of this together, and most probably is all of this together. So it's a natural stepping stone in your life. This is what's important to know. And you guys want 2 cards for the Page of Wands in the reverse for this disruptive energy. What is this disruption about? What is this creative process about? Queen of Wands. Okay, and Knight of Pentacles. Okay, beautiful. So the Page of Wands in the reverse is actually that you're stepping into the Queen of Wands energy, and that's why it's in the reverse. So it's more about, of course, this reassessment of the lessons you've learned are giving you the Queen of Wands energy. And if you allow this reassessment, you are going to be very successful in your creative projects. But also this will help you find love where you didn't think it was. There's a situation in which you thought love wasn't there, but it's a beautiful, loving situation that's coming to life for you in this season. It's beautiful with the Venus in Gemini. So as I said, it's from April 11th until May 7th. And then it steps into Cancer. Okay, so, but the fact that this is a slow-moving force with the Knight of Pentacles, it's making you think that you aren't enough, that you didn't learn enough, that there are more things to learn, and so on. It's not. You've learned all the lessons you need to step into this Queen energy right now, okay? But you're doing it so slowly, and the universe is working around you so slowly that at some point you might feel that there's something that you didn't do right. And again, we have this encountering of 2 poles. You see, this is beautiful. I love it. Like these 2 horses looking at each other. And it's not horses only, but it's these unicorns, right? And it's just like, what are the odds and the chances of having 2 unicorns, which is not even a... Not all tarot decks have unicorns in them. Not all oracle decks have unicorns in them. And we got 2 unicorn cards right now. And this is your dreams. Those dreams that you really thought that were not realizable going to be manifested slowly but surely. And they are going to be manifested if you allow these oppositions of forces to be alive. Not work against them, not fight against them, allow them. Allow the eclipse to nourish you. Nourish you, take away what you don't need anymore, and bring with this Father energy all the abundance, the care that you deserve. And this is, we have so many people here also. And how can you notice how you are a very important part of the collective, and therefore you're not alone. Your process is the collective process. Your force, your discipline is bringing force and discipline to the collective and change and transformation. Okay, so we have also the Eight of Wands, which is a card of transformations. We have this 8. We have a lot of people, as I said, pages, and also father and mother energy. So it's this inner parenting work that's very important, that it's being triggered with this Venus season. So I want to thank you a lot for being here, for tolerating my disruptions of recording, not recording, and for being here for yourself, for showing up, and yeah, for allowing beauty to manifest in your life. This is the most valuable thing. And I just want you to send a big hug in your direction. And you're welcome to look into other readings, share, subscribe, and like, of course. And we simply see each other. All the best.